How are you today, sunshine? So it's time for my third relationship fails video, and this time I want to talk about my second date. And as I have said in the previous video, there was no second date with the first person. Ouch. My second date, or my second first date, was again with someone I met online. He lived a bit closer than the first guy, or actually quite a lot closer, and we were talking on Facebook and he just really wanted to meet me, and I don't even know how I felt about these things. Probably I was just so stupidly nervous, and I just thought, oh, I'm like way too shy. I'm just probably, because of that, I'm just not willing to meet anyone willingly, you know. I was just super anxious about any kind of social interaction, so I was just probably forcing myself to do these things. Anyway, we did go out, technically, out. It's a funny story, to be honest. I had school in the afternoon that day, which never happens. Hardly ever. It's just a rare occasion. And I was at home in the morning, and he called me, so I was so nervous. You have no idea. I was so nervous, but I did answer. And then we met somewhere near my house, near my home, like a few blocks away. Then we went for a little walk, and we were talking a bit, and it turns out we technically knew each other. Not knew, but we were in a very close proximity of each other, probably a few times. So let me explain this little story. When I was young, I don't even know how young, but in one of the first occasions when I had to ride a bus to go to school, that bus just came from like another village, and that happens to be his village. I went on that bus to go to school, so sometimes I would have to sit with people who are much older than me, as in people who went to high school and I went to elementary. And yeah, this guy was 6 years older than me, or technically still is. I must have like sat next to him on that bus, and you know, because the ride was not like the shortest, and I just had this memory. I find it like a vision, but I think I was like so small. I don't even know. Like if he was like 15 or so, and I was like 9, and I was like this little girl from like 3rd grade or whatever. I just remember sitting next to someone a few times, and that person would always crack their knuckles, and it would freak me out. It was like, why do you do that? And that person had like the longest fingers and very thin. I don't know, it just reminds me of some guitar player. Just like the longest creepy fingers, and there's this crackling noise, and I was like this small girl, and I was scared of him. I think that was him, and it was just so trippy. But yeah, we didn't go to the same school or anything. Again, I was very quiet on the date. I was just kind of shocked by the fact that I actually knew him from before, like just physically knew him, not actually. And it was kind of creepy to think about it, like how just some paths just get crossed like that again. Like after so many years, like I go on a date with that guy. Weird. Can you imagine like someone from the future coming on the bus and say that you're gonna go on a date once, and I'm like, what? He's like 100 years old. If you would say that to like 9-year-old me. Incredible. Better not. I was much older then when we actually went on a date. So anyway, that was just it. We went on a short walk, and then it happened. I had my very first kiss. Here it is. I'm telling it to everyone. I don't think I have ever told this to anyone, which is weird because I do talk about these things with my friends, but I just never told this. I would probably say something if we actually were a thing, but again, we weren't. We were not a thing. That was it. A date. He was interested, and then he would realize that I'm just not it. Which, what I was telling to myself. But it's not true. I also didn't really like him, to be honest. I was just way head over heels for the kiss, which I actually had no idea how to do, to be honest. And he was like much older, and he was experienced, I could tell clearly. Yeah, so nobody ever knew, and to be honest, I'm not even sure I remember his name. That's how terrible I am. It was also very hard because I was so short, like, that's still my problem. I still didn't grow. Oh my god. Yeah, I did grow since I was 9, but I probably stopped growing when I was 15 or so I just am very tiny, and also I didn't grow much, so it's not that I grew very fast and I just didn't. No, I just grew very little. Yeah, that was it. Awkward old times. Thank you very much for watching, you know, I'm always coming at you guys. Love.
Life is what you make.